Hello, 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 everybody. It's your girl Ashley, the amateur expert, coming to you live today for this episode of Talk Tuesday. Super excited to have our guest, Chantz Simpson, with us. We're going to talk about his career, we're going to talk about his path, we're going to talk about his Simpson motivators. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. He is in the room, so we can get started. I love it. Happy Talk Tuesday, everyone. Where are you joining? Oops, I lost him. Okay. Thanks, Tiara. Gonna pin it here. And I think we have Chantz with us. Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear
Hi,
you.
I can
Welcome.
hear you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. So Chantz, welcome to the Amateur Expert Podcast, Talk Tuesday, where we'll talk about your career path, your ideas of success, the tips and motivators that you've used along the way. And so I guess we can jump right on in.
Ooh,
Can you hear me?
okay, yeah, I lost you for a second, but I think I can hear you now.
Okay,
I
awesome.
think.
So if you could
Okay.
please introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you are doing currently for work.
Hi, guys. My name's Chantz Simpson. I'm an actor and a musician. I sing and I rap. I also do a little bit of visual art and design. So, yeah,
I
guess I'm an
think
artist. The LA art.
love when we have creatives on. Okay, awesome.
Yes.
That's great. So, when you were younger, what did you want to be when you grew up? And sort of what was the motivating factor behind that?
Well, when I was really young, I think I wanted to be Spider-Man from what I can remember.
I mean,
Um,
hey, Spidey webs.
Yeah, always wanted to be Spider-Man. But really, I was always just obsessed with like the movie theater and actors and characters and stuff like that. It was just something about it. I'm sure, every kid liked movies, but I was obsessed. I'd see a movie and
Mm,
then I'd be the character I liked the most for the next until I saw my next movie, pretty much. So
into the
that's
next
kind of
one.
yeah. So that was kind of like what I always wanted to do is I wanted to be in movies. Once I realized that people on the screen uh, that's their job, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to figure out how I can get into this. So I'd say I've always wanted to be an actor, but as I got older, I started to develop um, desires for other places in the arts fields. I wanted
Hmm.
to do music, and I love to draw my whole life, and I love to write. So yeah, I think I always just like to entertain people. I also danced when I was a kid, so dancing was always a big passion. Just anything that could draw a crowd, anything that would make someone smile, laugh, or be in awe. That was always what I wanted to do was entertain.
I love that. That's very admirable of you to want to invoke positive emotions in others with your actions and art. Um,
Yeah.
okay. So I love also when we have people on the show who knew what they wanted to do when they were younger and then were
Hmm.
able to sort of craft their journey to create this goal or passion. So could you tell us just a little bit about your journey? So you wanted when you were younger, you definitely were inspired by movies. So, did
Hmm.
you go to performing arts school or like just how did we get to where we are today?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was younger, I didn't know how I was going to get there. I was just in a normal high school where we played sports, and I mean a normal middle school where we played sports. But I knew that I loved to dance and act, and I went to this dance studio down the street from me called The Rage, and I took hip hop classes there, and they taught like vocal lessons there. So
Mm-hmm.
that was where I first kind of sparked. I started to find a little community of people, and I started to have more friends from the dance studio than at my own school. I just started to like not really like my school environment. Um, but
Mm-hmm.
I did at a young age was involved in dance. So, because my mom was a dancer, so she found a dance studio for me to go to. I was going there all the time,
Okay.
and then I joined band in my middle school. That was the only arts program they had was a big band, like an orchestra, and I played alto saxophone,
Got it.
um, and I played
Okay.
clarinet. So yeah, I was into that. That was my favorite part of every day at school, and I knew that if I could keep
Mm-hmm.
doing something in this field, I wanted to do it. And um, my high school was coming around, and I decided that I was going to try to audition for an art school. But I didn't really want to go for dance, not because I didn't love dance. I just felt like I said, growing up, movies and in the theater
Right.
was where I just really felt like I belonged, and that's
Right.
what I wanted to do more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still doing the thing that made me really happy, was to entertain people, or just give them something to be invested in.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like acting was less physical, more emotional
That's
for the
good.
audience.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was like, wow, that's so cool to watch someone dance, or like that's impressive to be like, now you can make someone cry or
For
laugh, or
for sure.
make, change their day, or even their outlook. So I auditioned for a school called LACHSA. It was Los Angeles County High School of the Arts. It was
Mm-hmm.
in downtown, and by the luck of God, I got in, because I had previously had no professional acting experience. But I knew that I loved it, and I spent months just preparing my monologues, and just trying to get, watching other actors and seeing
Mm-hmm.
what they did with their monologue, and trying to craft my own thing. And when I finally auditioned, I got in, and that changed pretty much my whole life. I met a bunch of other artists, a bunch of other people who were just as driven and just as excited about what they wanted to do,
Yeah.
and it inspired me to continue to want to do that. After that, I got a theatrical agent. About my sophomore year, I got a theatrical agent, and because before that, only work I had done in the arts world was dance work. So I had done
Okay.
like some commercials as a dancer when I was younger, and stuff like that. But once I really fell in love with theater, I did Shakespeare my freshman year. I was like, this is what I want.
Yeah.
I'm going to move away from dance, not because I don't love it anymore, but because this is what I feel like I'm drawn to more,
For
was
sure.
was acting. So I got a theatrical agent, and I started auditioning, and I booked a couple little, guest star roles, and
Not little. Rolls are rolls.
yeah, roles are roles. No, nothing little. But I mean, I guess when I was getting started, I was stoked on. I mean, I still am stoked on anything that I could do where I'm working. But yeah, it was just like the beginning, and I was excited because I was like, oh, this is tangible. Like I can actually make this happen if I just keep
Mm-hmm.
keep going for it. And then after high school, after I'd done a few roles in high school, I got a different agent, and uh, I started to build my resume as an actor and less of a dancer. I still had dance as a
Yeah.
credit and stuff like that, but I'd really kind of moved away from being a dancer after high school, and I joined Baron
Mm-hmm.
Brown in Santa Monica, and then I was taught the Meisner technique, and I started to learn a lot, other techniques that I didn't learn in high school. Because in high school we did like Shakespeare and Suzuki and a lot of stage stuff that was really good for theater,
Yeah.
plays. I did musical theater as well when I was in high school, so I kind of had really gotten so deep into the stage performance that I wanted to get back into the screen performance,
Yeah.
which is very different.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the best thing I did was going to Baron Brown, because they just taught me a lot about moment to moment and understanding a character in a scene and being truthful to the character, and how acting's not acting, it's being, and all these like quotes that you might hear being thrown around, but they are true. And it was just a turning point, and then I started. And yeah, and in between that, I would make some music and try to just divide my passions
Mm-hmm.
into places where they fit. If I was working on acting, I was 100% tuned in on acting. And when I wasn't getting acting work, I was taking class and making music on the side. And that was pretty much the overall journey, summed up the best I can. It started
Yeah.
off
No,
as a
that was
dancer,
perfect.
turned into this. Yeah.
And what I've heard as you were talking about uh, your journey was how intentional you were. And I think
Yeah.
that it's important to share that because once you have a goal, everything you do should lead you to that.
Yes.
And someone just said in the comments that you kept your priorities right. So
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so. Um, what I forgot to ask you before, but we can sort of throw it in now, is when you were younger,
Hmm.
and you were when you first started your journey, I should say, what did you think success was? And then let's compare it
Hmm.
to what your idea of success is today.
That's a great question, because they are very different. I think when you're younger, most people, including myself, sees success as money,
Hmm.
uh, cars, big nice house, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Um, I think money is the main thing, is that everyone wants to be rich.
for
And
sure.
yeah, like having money would be really nice. Like having a lot of money would be really nice. But as I got older, I realized, I forgot who told me. I think it was my teacher, Miss Plum, in high school. She said, if you want to be an actor to be famous, do something else.
Mm.
There's a lot of other easy ways to become famous. Acting is not easy, and if you don't really love it and you don't love the journey, then you won't like the destination. And for me, as I got older, I realized that acting, especially acting and making music, is not real. There isn't really a destination.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone looks at it like, oh, I can't wait to get to this point,
Yep.
or I can't wait to get to where they are. But that person's going, I can't wait to get to this point.
Yeah.
But the moment you've decided to just accept the process and just really love every audition, really love every opportunity you get to act,
Mm-hmm.
and even when you don't have an opportunity to create your own work, write your own work,
That's good.
do a short film, work with your friends who are, maybe also in the arts, or meet friends who are in the arts through class. That's when you really start to fall in love with it. And I think that's what success is to me, is honestly, like, I think everyone deserves to be happy. And the hardest part about being happy is trying to look towards the future in this way where, like, if I get that, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
If you can eliminate that idea from your brain and go, I need to be happy with what I have now, and then just keep working hard. And if you're satisfied with what you're doing now, it's a sign that you're going the right direction. Like, if I'm happy with the roles I've done, if I'm happy with the work I've put out, I could still be critical on myself. I could still be like, I need to be better.
Yeah.
Or here's where I can improve. So it's more about self-improvement that makes me happy. If I look at something I did 5 years ago and go, wow, I've came so far, or my performance has gotten so much better.
Yep.
That's success to me, is like just being happy in the moment, staying focused on my goal. But ultimately the goal is to not ever, it sounds weird, but it's almost like to not ever have a goal, because that destination is unrealistic. Even if I got to the point of Denzel Washington, I'd still be looking for another amazing role that I could take on. Or I'd probably start writing more of my own stuff, and I'd want to take the next step into the director, behind the camera field, and I'd love to cast. And it should be an endless journey in art. It shouldn't be like, if I get to there, then I'm satisfied. If you're going to be satisfied, it's the wrong field. It's not like you're getting a manager position at a job. You're in it for the long run. So
the long haul. I love that.
Yeah, I think that's what success is, just being satisfied with the process.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so now I want to know, because I can imagine that a part of the journey is getting a lot of no's, and then also getting a lot of redirection and critiques. And so, can you share with us, how do you stay motivated during that process?
Yeah, that's another great question. Especially within acting, there's so much rejection. So much, unfortunately, has to do with the other person's opinion, whether that's a casting director, producer, whoever it is. And for a long time, that beat me up. And then I got to the point where I started to think about it differently, in the way where I kind of think about it now, which is, instead of being so worried about being accepted, just being happy with my own performance. And going, did I go into that audition and give it my all? Well, then that's all I can do. And then walk out and let it go. And if that comes back to me, then I can put more into that and develop that character and give it an arc, and, help the story and do my job. But if it doesn't, then I need to be willing to be focused and ready for the next role. Because the moment you get down on yourself, they could smell it in the room. Like, you could smell that on someone when they're insecure, or or they've been let down too much, that they're just like, oh, I don't think I'll ever get back up again, and it'll affect your performance. So I honestly have gotten to the point where it's easier said than done, because I've been really down bad and thought about not doing it anymore because of, long periods of time where maybe I didn't get any work, or maybe I got bad feedback from someone, or something like that. But the truth is, and especially within this field, everything that you get back is useful. Whether it's a note about, or a critique about something that you're doing that's bad, or it's something that you're doing that's good, or nothing at all, just getting in the room, that's practice. So it's all beneficial. And I stopped looking at it as like rejection. And instead, it's just, if I didn't book it, that's practice. And that's going to help me for the next role. And if I got a bad note, that's a lesson. And I'm going to take that to the next thing. So just to look at things in a positive light, like I said, is so much easier said than done. But it is something that after doing this for so long has given me some comfort to
Yeah.
go, it's not the end of the world if this person doesn't book me on this job, or if they
Mm-hmm.
don't love my performance, or if I'm not right for it, I'm not right. You have to trust, if you're going to trust yourself to do your job, you have to trust them to do their job.
Ooh,
And if the
now
director and the
that is the
casting
word.
people want to do their job, like, you got to trust that maybe I wasn't right for that role, and my role will come. And it always does. The moment you start to get down and maybe you stop caring so much about what they think, that's when
Mm-hmm.
you book a job. Because it's not about them anymore. It's about, oh, let me go in and just do my best and enjoy that audition and that process. And if it works out, then it's meant to be. And if it doesn't, then it's meant for someone else. There's a lot of work out here, you know?
I love what you said. If I'm walking in there and trusting and believing that I'm in here doing my job, I should trust them to do theirs. Woof, that
100%. 100%.
was a
Yeah.
whole word. Okay,
Yeah.
so tell me something that you have learned or you're still in the process of learning that you wish you would have learned sooner.
Outside of outside of just learning to love the process, because I felt like for so long I was caught up in everyone else's opinion.
Hmm.
Um, Something else that I learned that I definitely wish I would have learned sooner was to let go.
What do
To
you mean
let
when you say
go.
that?
Um, like when I got done with an audition, or if I got done with a job,
Hmm.
especially when I was younger, every job I did and anything I didn't do but just audition for, I would sit around waiting. Oh man, holding on to that role that I auditioned for,
Mm,
just really hoping I got it. Especially if I got a call back, like just sitting there waiting, like, I hope they pick me. I nailed that audition. If I
yeah,
did a good job, that was even worse if I did a good job in the
right.
audition, because then I was like expecting it, and it's mine, and I was like visualizing what I could do with the character, and it's good to be passionate, but it's bad to hold on. And I
Mm,
think that
that's
if
really
someone
good.
could have told me, like, if you could just learn to walk out of that audition and then go do something immediately that makes you happy, that has nothing to do with that role and acting at all, you'll be more happy in the whole process, because you just spend so much time getting down on yourself for, oh, why didn't I book the role, and questioning yourself. So I'd say it's like I said, easy. A lot of this is easier said than done. But if someone could have just came and been like, boom, stop, let it go. You did
Yeah.
it. You did your performance. Let it go. Like, don't even worry about it. That would have been really helpful to me, and it would have kept a lot of me questioning myself out of it, because that's what you start to do when you hold on to stuff, is question yourself, because you and rather than it just being a moment in your life where you had an audition, it's 3 weeks after the audition waiting for the phone call, and that whole
Hmm.
time all that energy is wasted. Maybe you've even wasted uh, other audition opportunities because you're holding on to that one that you wanted the most.
Yeah.
And you got to just let go of stuff that doesn't go your way. And if I've done stuff where we did the entire pilot, and then for some reason, for some reason that we don't even know, because it's above us, it didn't get picked up, even though it got great reviews and stuff like that, and everyone thought it was going to get picked up. And
Hmm.
then you hold on to that for too long, and it will make you depressed. I've also
Yeah.
done stuff where I've been recast, and you can't hold on to that stuff. You have to just be
Mm,
like, I don't know why that is, and it's not my job
right.
to try to figure that out. My job is to continue to perform, continue to act, and focus on the next thing that I have coming my way. And preparation is everything. And if you're worried about the last thing you did, how can you be prepared for the next one? So
I
you
think
gotta let go.
that is awesome, and I also feel like that is valuable advice for anyone, and not just in
Yeah,
the entertainment space, right,
just
or
in
the
life. Yeah,
creative
yeah.
space. That is great life advice. But I want to ask specifically now if you can give some tips for someone who maybe is, starting out and looking to enter in the entertainment space or wants to become an actor or a performer, what tips would you give someone to or as they begin their journey?
Don't be shy. Do not be shy. If you want to do this, push hard. Get in people's face. If you want to go and do that, take risks when you're in the room.
Mm,
Take risks to get an agent. I've met people who are like, oh, I want to be an actor. How do you get an agent? Google them, and then look into their
hmm.
say I'd like to be represented. If you have no experience, be like, I'm willing to do a monologue for you, show you what I'm capable of, show your credits, study very hard, and even then, it still is not going to happen overnight. And if it does, then good for you, but it's pretty
Yeah.
rare. So I would say be patient, but also be diligent. Like really pursue it. If you feel like you lacking in one area, go take class from, like if you like I've been lacking in comedy, so I'm doing, because comedy is not my strong suit. So I want to work more on that. The more uncomfortable you are, the better. So if you could be putting yourself in situations where you would normally be uncomfortable and then become comfortable in those uncomfortable situations, you're going to be that much prepared for stuff that's thrown your way that you're not expecting. So yeah, I would say, work hard, be diligent, but be patient, and don't be afraid to take risks. There's always another opportunity. And
I lost you for a second.
ask for help. Oh, sorry. I was just saying that a lot of people will want an easy way in, and there is no easy way in, and there's no easy route to success.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You broke up for a second, but I
I
can
know.
hear you. I couldn't
Sorry.
see you, but I think we're good. Can you hear me okay?
Okay, I think we're caught up. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, it just caught up. So if
Okay,
I
cool.
anyone that wants to do it, be bold, be persistent, study hard, put the work in, and you'll get there.
I love that. So my mom is in here and she just gave one of her favorite quotes that has become one of my favorite quotes, which is "Go out on the limb, that's where the fruit is." Um,
Ooh,
and then the by Mark Twain.
yes.
And then the someone else
Hmm.
earlier asked if that was Benny the Bull on your hat, so I'd be remiss if I didn't.
This is not Benny the Bull. This is actually an original artist that I saw in Koreatown. He was selling his artwork just on a street. I wish I had his Instagram, but he doesn't have an Instagram. I forget what his name was. I bought it like a year ago. Um, but yeah, he makes a bunch of this gear. I guess he used to work as a mechanic,
Okay,
and he created this logo himself, and it's basically like a devil head with a wrench in its mouth.
I got it.
And yeah, I liked his stuff. I bought a jacket from him and a hat from him, and yeah, it's
That's
not Benny
dope.
the Bull though.
Not Benny the Bull. Okay, so
Yeah,
has been mentioning often your music, so I want to give you a chance.
it's actually my
It,
friend Wyatt. Shout out to
Hey
Wyatt.
Wyatt, I want to give you a chance to let us know about your music and if you have anything coming out or how we can support you.
Yeah, absolutely. I do make music as well. I just dropped my first project. It's an 8 song album, EP, whatever you want to call it.
That's so cool. Awesome.
Yeah,
Congrats.
yeah, thank you. It's on iTunes. It was produced by my good friends Charlie Scoble and Max Beers. Max goes by Jacuzzi Mane.
Okay,
Also, my
okay.
friend Matthew, otherwise known as Glibs, he worked on it as well with us. And it's kind of like it's an eclectic hip hop album, but it also has some R&B songs and some different stuff in there. I get kind of bored of like one style, and I kind of
Mm-hmm.
like to switch it up a lot. I've always liked to write, so rapping is super super important to me. The album that I released is called Granada. It's
Got it.
spelled Granada.
Love that.
Um, and it's the street I grew up on, and it's a bunch of stories from my childhood and from. It's kind of a coming of age album, really. Like everything is like growing, learning, death of ego, understanding myself, uh, close calls, just kind of like you know little little footnotes from my past that I wanted to put out, and it actually was made over like a 4 year span.
Mm,
So it's a collection of songs that I literally made as I was kind of maturing, and
yeah.
I'm still maturing, but it's just stuff that I was reflecting on and I wanted to put out. I have other music that I'm going to put out as well, some new stuff. But yeah, the album's called Granada, and it's on iTunes, it's on Spotify, anywhere you listen to music, it's available
Dope,
under my
dope,
name,
dope.
Chantz Simpson. And yeah, if you like rap and you like hip hop, please check it out. Let me know what you think.
So do you plan on doing any music videos? No, I'm just talking now. I told you, it's just
Yeah,
some
yeah.
friends
No, it's
chatting.
fine.
So
Yeah,
are
yeah.
we gonna have some visuals to match or to go with the album?
Yes, I really want to do some visuals. I'm lucky enough to have, like I said, some incredibly talented friends who not only produced on the album and helped me with that, but I have friends who are also like cinematographers and editors, and I've been talking and trying to figure out exactly what songs I want to do visuals to, and it's just a better way to like kind of promote your music if you have visuals because
For sure.
at least for me, speaking for myself, like I always am a little bit more attached to the song when there's a music video that I like.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been trying to come up with some ideas and do some visuals, but we just dropped it, so trying to kind of get the buzz out there. And it's the first professional or like official thing that I've put out.
Mm-hmm.
That's my music. So yeah, we're doing a couple different visual ideas, I think, and I'm excited to do that because I think that's even cooler than when someone just drops music, but when they have a good music video to go with it. So
For sure.
definitely look
Well,
out for that in the next couple months.
I love that and can't wait to see and also have to go back and listen to your album. So, and we'll
Yes,
put
please do.
links to all that information in the show notes for anyone who is listening to the replay. I want to thank you again for being on the show. You have truly inspired me and given me some. I'm going to go back and listen because you dropped some bars and some knowledge on all of us. So thank you for
Thank you.
sharing your
Thank you.
experience with us. And so I am the amateur expert, and I claim to know a little bit about a lot. And so the last question that I ask everyone is for you to share a random fact, a random tidbit of information with me. It could be anything from your process, it can be anything that you learned at school, it could be a Snapple fact, anything completely random that, maybe I'm on Jeopardy one day and I can be like, Chance told me that. Anything random. What you got? Uh-oh, I think I lost you. You still there? Can you guys hear me still? Maybe, maybe not. We have lost Chance, but maybe we can get him back. He's
I'm
back.
sorry, I lost you.
No, no
I'm
worries.
back. I'm back. Sorry, I lost you.
No,
It's
all
102
good.
degrees out here in Los Angeles, so maybe the
Yeah,
heat's
I'm in
messing up
LA
the
too,
signal.
but I'm also
Um,
inside. So, um,
oh,
okay,
good, good. Yeah, I just figured the backdrop was better out here.
it
But
looks
a
great, but
random
we'll
fact,
get you back inside quickly. Just a random fact.
no, yeah, yeah. A random fact. Um, a random fact. So, I trained with my good friend Ashe, who connected us actually. He showed
Yeah.
us capoeira. Not only teaching me a skill, but also just balance and a practice in life that's healthy and it's exercise, and it's actually served me in the acting world before. So not so random, but yeah, I'm a mixed martial artist and a gymnast. So if that's
I
anything
love that.
new,
So
um,
when
yeah,
I was
something
young,
I
I
have. Yeah.
definitely did. I did capoeira as well when I was younger. I've got my green belt, and then that was sort of
Hey,
it for me. But yeah,
that's all right. That's awesome.
I told Jay that I have to get back in the studio so that I can relearn because it's been quite some time. But
Me and you both. Me and you both. Yeah. Maybe I'll
thank
see
you.
you there.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you
Yeah.
again so much. Drop your handles, drop how people can support and follow you, and then we can get you back in the AC.
Awesome. Thank you. Also, make sure you guys check out Big Shots on Disney Plus. I play Teacher Felix, Mr.
Yes,
Felix. Check
Mr.
it out.
Teacher
Yeah.
Felix, we love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Mr. Teacher Felix. All right. Thank you so much for having me. I really
No
appreciate
problem.
it. You're
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Have a good
Thank you.
day and go cool down. Go cool down.
You too. I'm gonna jump in the pool right now.
All right, sounds good. Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.